And this video is going to be a very unique expose on the upcoming astrology. And it's really interesting, the things that are happening up in the skies above. And as you know that with the movement of the planets and the yogas and the aspects that are formed, according to that and according to how the planet is placed in our natal chart, we get benefits. Now, does that mean that astrology is hard and fast, written in stone? No. Astrology gives us kind of like a blueprint, right? Something to work with, to know our strengths, to know our weaknesses, so we can better adapt and better prepare. So let us delve straight into this very, very interesting astrological report. Before I begin though, consider becoming a member of the channel. It really helps. Like, comment, subscribe and share, and let me know how this particular astrology pertains to your life. So from 10th, right? 10th, Mars moves into Cancer or Karak, and this means that Mars is Neech Bhang. Okay, Neech Bhang planets tend to give problematic results. Okay, there is the usual gusto with which Mars works is going to be missing at this time. Yet there's some fantastic things that are happening, and for people who have Mars in Cancer, for you this is a time of redefining your actions. Okay, redefining your actions. And this report is prepared looking into sidereal calculations. It's a Vedic report. So if you don't know your Vedic science, and if you know only Western tropical, then I suggest you go to any website that has a Vedic sign calculator and you get your reading. Like, you know which moon sign you are, because moon sign is very, very relevant with this. So Neecha Bhang Mars is doing a lot of things, because he has now moved into Cancer, and he is forming a Shatasht Yog. Shatasht Yog with Shani or Saturn. Now, what is Shatasht Yog? Now, when I was looking at the astrology, I have to say that there are certain things that are happening right now that are completely unprecedented. You cannot imagine the kind of changes that this astrology will be the harbinger of. So it's kind of fortuitous for many of us, and for some this can bring about its own set of complications. But very, very strange pattern created in the skies. And this pattern that is being created is causing a vibration, a spandan, a kampan, a ripple, right? A ripple that is resonating through the solar system. Now, each time there are huge planetary shifts, and we've just had like the most profound planetary shift with Jupiter moving into Aries. Now, you have to understand that Jupiter does 12 years as he moves through the zodiac, and when he comes into Aries, the first nakshatra Ashwin, this is like a reset, like the life force is being breathed into us. And it is important to notice that Jupiter is the signifier of all things auspicious. For women, Jupiter signifies her husband. For males, Jupiter signifies high positions, higher philosophy, dharma, and blessings. I mean, Jupiter is the great benefic, is the one that blesses. No matter how problematic Jupiter's been, okay, and Jupiter was in a lot of problems, doldrums actually, and he just crossed Gandanta and went into Aries just a few days ago. But before that, Jupiter was depressed in Capricorn, Makar Rashi, because that is a sign of Jupiter's depression. Because Jupiter is exalted in the sign opposite, which is Cancer. And now we see that Mars is going into Cancer, which is actually a sign of his depression or debilitation, because Mars is exalted in Capricorn. So some very interesting things are also happening, because you have to understand that Rahu and Jupiter are meeting with this Guru Chandal Yoga. That is pretty much going to lay the groundwork for huge changes. Okay, and now the thing is that Rahu moves backwards. So when all the other planets are moving forward, and their journey is always forward moving, but Rahu moves backwards. So now that Rahu has come to Ashwin Nakshatra, which is at the very beginning of the zodiac, Rahu is culminating his cycle, whereas Jupiter is starting the cycle. So with Rahu there is coming a kind of an ending, but with Jupiter this is a new beginning. So we can see that these two disparate energies are meeting in this very unique Guru Chandal Yoga that is being formed. Now what I want to say is that the Shadashtak Yoga, it happens when grahas are in 6 to 8 combination, and with regards to one another, of course. And this is rather important. This Shadashtak Yoga is going to be defining of the times to come, right? It's a huge signifier of what we can expect from the planets and what we need to give to the planets. It's not always about receiving. The planets are out there charting out their courses, playing out their dharma, karma, artha. Artha is different for them, it's value. And moksha, of course, planets also seek the 4 purusharthas, like we seek the 4 purusharthas. So at a time we can see when Jupiter was in Capricorn, in the sign of his depression, Jupiter was going through a lot, and then he came into Aquarius and he was with Saturn, and then he moved out of Aquarius and and then he moved out of Aquarius and he moved into Pisces, causing this Pap Kartari Yoga. When Jupiter, the great benefic, was being cut in the karmic scissors of Pap Kartari Yoga. And this Pap Kartari Yoga kind of has defined Jupiter's sojourn through Meen Rashi, which is a huge culmination, because it is, Meen Rashi is the last sign of the zodiac. So this is a sort of energy that wraps things up. Yet Rahu is starting his journey, because Rahu moves backwards. So there is this thing of endings and new beginnings as these two very, very important planets. And especially in Kali Yuga, if you see, Rahu's energy is going to be very, very active. And Jupiter is in need of all of our prayers. So like we pray to the planets that, hey Brihaspati, Gram Grim Grom Saha Brihaspate Namaha, Guruvye Namaha, help us with this, help us with that, get us that job, get us that money. In the same way, we have to be ready to send love to the planets. Say, Gram Grim Grom Saha Guruvye Namaha, hey Guru, please receive my love, my support. For without Jupiter, the solar system would not be formed. Would not be formed without Jupiter. Jupiter has been the big brother, okay, and not in a nefarious sense, big brother, but the big brother of us, because Jupiter's protected us from, being hit by space debris, asteroids, And Jupiter was also the reason why the huge gas giants uh, did not migrate inside the inner reaches of the solar system. Or I say Neptune, he kept them away, kept Uranus away. So Jupiter has indeed been a great benefic for us. And if you study astronomy, many speculate that Jupiter is indeed a failed star. Now, I find that so harsh because, who knows, Jupiter failed. Maybe Jupiter sacrificed his, uh, his, destiny of being a star so that he could mentor us, just like Brihaspati did, right? So, this is something very interesting because, we are always asking. So, asking and giving. This is very important to understand that planets also need our love. Planets also need our strength. Planets also need our validation. We cannot just blame planets and say, oh my God, I've got a bad Jupiter and there's Guru Chandal, oh my God, or I've got Guru Chandal in my natal chart. And the thing is that immorality, the question of morality and what it means to us as individuals and as a collective whole in society, this will be compromised because here we see Jupiter having to do a lot of Rahu work and Rahu having to do a lot of Jupiter work. And yes, because we have to stop asking all the time. I was going around all my life asking for things. And I never got anything. But the day I stopped asking and I started giving love to the planets would speak to me. And it's not me, channeling from some extraterrestrial in Pleiades, although I do worship Uchishta Ganpati and he is from the Pleiades. But seriously, this is a connection you have with planets. They are within you. Jupiter is within you. So if Jupiter is going through some kind of, cosmic turbulence, it becomes your responsibility to acknowledge that, to give support, right? Many people will not like this way of thinking because we are so tuned to just want, not give. We want. That's all, right? We want this, we want that. We want what we want, right? So, this is a time of great turbulence because we are being tested. We are being asked that, what journey are we going on? Do we even know? Do we even care? Are we just reacting? Or are we, hello? Or are we interacting with reality? So this is really, really important to understand that this Shadashtak Yoga is telling us something. It's telling us something and it brings palpable tension. Okay, it brings palpable tension and this tension, forget us, even the planets are not being able to release this tension. Like I said, I've been studying astrology for many decades and I have not seen such a peculiar situation pop up. There's a triangle being formed with Shani, Rahu and Ketu. And there's also a triangle being formed with Shani, Guru and Ketu. And now that Mars is going into Cancer, this format is being broken. So now we have the penetration of Mangal into this perfect triangle and it's trying to create a square but is unable to create a square. So there's disarray, destructive forces at work. Also remember that a triangle is as perfect as it gets. Omnitrium perfectum, as the Latin verse says. Like 3 is perfect. So we have to understand that when we have this perfect 3, and then suddenly Mars comes in and disrupts the harmony, all right, and then tries to make a square but fails. A square is a boundary. Ganpati is worshipped in a square. A square demarcates your reality. It collapses the wave function, and it kind of defines the pathway of the wave into becoming a particle. So this is a failed attempt to demarcate consciousness into matter. And there's disturbance, definitely huge disturbance that's being created by this Nichbhang. Now Mangal, Shani, Rahu and Ketu. Okay, now I have to say that although Cancer is a sign of Mars's depression and all that, but Mars is definitely bringing in new energy. Okay, we have to understand that Mars is action. Mars is Sanat Kumar. Action. So no matter, even if he is debilitated, depressed, he is still bringing in something new. Nichbhang Mangal. Now, when I was looking at this, this Shadashtak and the way Mars is breaking it, and the involvement of Cancer and Aquarius was rather peculiar. And I have not, going back into my astrology software, I have not been able to identify this kind of pattern in it. I mean, of course, Guru Chandal Yoga has happened some 32 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. And in these two particular signs, for a while, this kind of situation has not popped up. All right, and also taking into consideration that Rahu is culminating his cycle, and Jupiter is starting, and in a sense Rahu's culmination, because Rahu moves backwards, so onto Pisces and he starts anew. And Jupiter, as soon as Jupiter enters Aries, it's a new cycle. 12 years, I mean, a new breath. And Jupiter and Mangal are friends. So it's a good sign. It's a good vibe that I feel. Now, also with Guru Chandal, Rahu was not in Mesh Rashi and did not have Shani's Drishti. And the very interesting thing that's happening is that Mangal is giving Drishti to Ketu. And Ketu is giving Drishti to Shani. Ketu's in Libra, we know that. And Shani is, of course, in Mutrikon sign of Aquarius, right? So Shani is kind of like happy now in Rahu's Nakshatra Satavisha. So that's pretty interesting. Now Shani is giving Drishti to Rahu. All right, so Rahu is with Guru in Mesh Rashi. And the thing with this is that Mangal is leading the energy. Chaotic, right? Chaotic energy, but it's a very Ugra position. Ugra position, okay? So it's not the Hare Krishna energy, right? Although worshipping Vishnu at this time can give great benefits, because Vishnu being the sustainer, he will be able to ground this energy. Now, Ugra position, and this is happening from 10th of May, all right, and we can see that, till 1st of July, this Drishti that's happening right now. Mars is looking at Ketu, Ketu is looking at Shani, Shani is looking at Rahu. So what's happening is that the they're creating observation. So they are becoming the observers, right? And of course, now we are becoming the observers by studying about them, by observing them, right? Now, the thing is that we know about the observer's paradox, that all eyes, right, are on them. Now think about when you sing in the bathroom, right, when you're taking a shower and you sing in the bathroom and no one's watching you, so blah, right? And then people come over and they take you to a nightclub and there's karaoke, right? And they're like, say, 10-20 people there, and you are going to sing. So immediately your style, your the way you carry yourself, the way you sing, your effort is enhanced immediately, right? And and then say you sing really well in that karaoke night, and then they say, hey, guess what, we've got a gathering of like 50 people, would you like to sing there? Or 100 people, and they're like singing there. And then you go to some kind of show like India has talent or America has talent, and then you are on an international stage. So when you are being observed, right, then immediately you are reacting differently. So this is what's happening with the planets, right? Now, with all this drishti happening, everyone is aware of what the other one is doing. So, if you go to a party and you can continuously see that people are looking at you, and someone's looking at you, you're looking at someone, it kind of can get awkward. That's why the best parties are when no one looks, okay, and everybody is like chill and having a good time. So that's when we can let our hair down. But the planets cannot let their hair down, because they are being observed. They are being observed, okay, and they have to take definitive actions, even if they're not always comfortable with doing that at that moment, right? Because the Pap Kartari is still on, right? Jupiter is still, Pisces is still undergoing, Meen Rashi is still undergoing the Pap Kartari Yoga. So that is not going away. The Guru Chandal Yoga is not going away. The Shrapit Yoga is not going away. And now we have the Shadashtak Yoga. Now, so it's like, the planets are now finally playing a game, and they're like competing with each other. So there's pressure on each one of them. They have to outperform the other. Now, the thing with observation is, as I was explaining before, that the observer collapses the wave function. So, if you know about the double slit experiment, you know that with observation we tend to change the outcome of an experiment. So this is what's happening. They are collapsing each other's timelines. They're collapsing each other's the infinite possibilities that can be encompassed within them, right? So as I told you, that planets embody conceptual ideas. Like Saturn is the significations of Saturn, it's universal. So Saturn embodies hard work, strength, discipline, and all of these traits are being held by the planet with the beautiful rings that we know as Saturn. But this is a principle, this is an archetype that the planet is now holding. So it's like that. Mangal has his archetype, Ketu has his archetype. So it's kind of like, they are being pushed. There's tension because they're being observed, right? Some people perform very good if they are being observed. Case in point being Leos, maybe they love to be observed, but everybody doesn't work that way. Some people don't like drishti. So, I mean, I don't. I'm not attempting to say that, you know, if Mangal is giving drishti to Ketu, and if Ketu likes it or not. I'm not going into that. I'm telling you that simply the act of observation changes the outcome of the experiment. So there's something that is changing, that is shifting, that is in continuous flux with all of this energy, and the failure to create a square, to clearly demarcate a boundary of what's to be, right? So, and we've also heard the argument that scientists have made that, you know, if a tree falls in a forest and there's no one to witness the act itself, and I mean, does the tree make a noise? I mean, this is very legitimate questioning, you know, thought experiments that scientists are immersing themselves with. So, you know, after all, everything boils down to imagination. Because you look at like hard problems that, you know, say particle physics has to deal with, or chemistry, or anything, you know, even astronomy. Imagination is such a potent force, because if you have a theory, then you can work around proving it, right? I mean, that's science. You come up with a hypothesis and you work towards proving that hypothesis by observation, by documentation, by exposition. So there is a system of ontology, epistemology that is being followed. So the thing is that, can reality truly exist without the observer? So the fact that all these planets are playing the role of the observer, it means things are getting real in some way, as unreal as all of this may be. You know, for space is just a great void. We are the great void, you know, for atoms are 99.99999% emptiness, the great void from which awakens the spanda, the adya spanda. So this is what's happening with this peculiar Shadashtak yoga, and the just the sacred geometry of it. It's pretty astounding the way things are shaping up, and the way, you know, the energy is playing out. I haven't seen anything like it. So, through infinite things that could have happened with the drishti of the planets, the way I explained it, with, you know, Mangal to Ketu, Ketu to Shani, Shani to Rahu, it's as if the planets are taking some serious decisive action, okay, and collapsing the infinitude of possibilities, right? It's here, it's now, the infinite timelines that are being played out. We cannot even comprehend. So maybe they're dictating a new course, right? I mean, a new timeline could emerge from this. So, you know, just watch and observe. For right now, you and me have become the observers. And here we are giving our drishti to this Shadashtak yoga and its implications. For we are intellectually, spiritually trying to connect with its energies, trying to dig deep, get to the crux of the situation as intuitively as we can. For can we truly comprehend the language of the planets? Can we truly explore the linguistics of celestial bodies? I think we can, but I mean, that's, you know, the subject matter for another video. But on a more plain, banal level, can we attempt to do that? Can we harbor such affectations, such great ambitions. I mean, literally. But watch and mark my words. You have the ability to cement each planet. Say you are connected to Mangal. Maybe you can help Mangal give the correct drishti to Ketu. So you're connected to Ketu. Maybe you can help Ketu give the correct drishti to Shani. Maybe Shani will, if you're connected to Shani, you can help Shani give the correct drishti to Rahu. I believe we are co-creators, we are authors of this narrative. Like as Rumi said, you're not a drop in the ocean, you're the entire ocean in a drop. And I honestly believe that. And that's what makes this next 51 days tantamount to escaping the matrix, of course, things that keep us in bondage, things that drain us, and to really seek an unknown horizon. And believe me, things are changing. Like from now, 2023 to 2029, oh my goodness, the world is going to change so much. And we have to be ready. I mean, not only ready and just react to it blindly, but we have to be co-creators in not only our destiny, but the destiny of the planets. I mean, it sounds ambitious, but this is the way, So, now Mangal and Shani, this Shatasht is most important. Why? Because this is a harbinger or a foreshadower of Yug Parivartan. The changing tides of time. Yug Parivartan. Now, there's a very interesting thing that I want to mention here, and it may be, me going into something completely obtuse, but do you know we had our own Nostradamus, even before Nostradamus himself? His name was Sant Achyutananda, and he was from Orissa. And he had written a book called Bhavishya Malika. And in that Bhavishya Malika, he had documented and predicted with Panchasakha, 5 friends. He had written and documented a ton of things that have come true 100%. All right? And not only that, there's some very, very interesting things that have come up right now that has kind of like forced me to speak about this. It's very interesting. Usually Kali Yuga, okay, Kali Yuga is quite a long time frame, right? Like 48 lakh, 4 lakh or 48 lakhs, I'm not sure, that many years, right? But according to Achyutananda, because of the prevalence of sin in its most bestial mode, right? I mean, sin has gone into hyperdrive. We are losing time, right? We're losing time. So that Kali Yuga that was supposed to be 4 lakh, 80,000 or 48 lakhs, we are losing time. And so ultimately, Kali Yuga now stands at 5,123 years. Alright, and when you do the calculation, you will see that 5,123 years, it's over almost, and it's 2028, it's over. So what Achyutananda has said, that we are actually living in something called Yug Sandhi. To better exemplify what this means, I would say the twilight zone. We are now residing in what is known as the twilight zone. So after this, the propensity of Dharma awakens and we move towards Satya Yuga. Now in Satya Yuga, there is no sin. In Dwapar Yuga, there is sin. In Treta Yuga, the 1/3 is sin. But now only one part of the circle remains. Okay, so imagine a circle, right? Oh my god, I don't have a page. So this is Satya Yuga, right? And then you divide it into 4. So in Satya Yuga, there's no bullshit or hanky-panky happening, right? So it's all like white, right? Yet, there were complications in Satya Yuga, which is why Vishnu had to take the first 3 avatars. They were Satya Yuga avatars. However, the question of morality comes again. So, Satya Yuga, everybody was moral, everybody was nice, everybody was just kind. But then came Dwapar Yuga, right? And then this part got tainted, right? And then came Treta Yuga, so that got tainted. And now we have Kali Yuga. So only this 25% remains of niceness, kindness, goodness, peace, right? And it's hard now to stay by dharma, to stick to one's conventions. I mean, not conventions, to stick to one's belief systems. I mean, most of our belief systems are actually perverted, though, if you ask me. But that's again not the subject matter of this video, so that discourse will have to wait. But looking at this, what I feel is that Achyutananda had said that what we are going through is Yug Sandhi, and in this time there will be tremendous changes that will happen, and the harbinger of Kali Yuga will be Jagannath Dham in Puri, which is one of the main major dhams of Hinduism. And when the dhwaja, the flag atop the temple falls, and interesting because flag is a signifier of Ketu. So when the flag of Jagannath temple falls, then stones are going to come falling, and that is a sign that there'll be pralaya. And who brings pralaya in Kali Yuga? Kalki avatar. So that's very interesting that just a few years ago, Odisha, where we have the Puri Dham, was afflicted by the worst tidal wave, or it was a cyclone or a tidal wave. I can't wrap my head around that. I think it was kind of like a cyclone, tidal wave, I don't know, something deadly dangerous, okay? And the dhwaja of Jagannath temple did fall down. And not only that, stones came crashing down. So that in Puri at the time, everybody who knew about Achyutananda, this interest in him sort of, began anew. And people realized that this was indeed a harbinger of the ending of Kali Yuga. Not only that, it is also said that in Kali Yuga, Kedarnath and Badrinath Dham will be completely destroyed. Like, you will not have access to them. And you will not believe, as we speak, the Kedarnath journey has been stopped. So people have gone to Kedarnath for darshan and all that, but they've had to come back because of some kind of crazy rain, which I did predict. There'll be crazy rain. So there are some of these signs, right? And it is said that there will appear a final sign in the skies. That is the mark of Kalki himself. Vishnu is coming as Kalki avatar on a white horse. I mean, every girl, right, especially in my time, wanted that perfect knight in a white horse, right? And this knight in a white horse is actually the Kalki avatar. Now, the horse is symbolic, right? But Kalki avatar is possibly born and has taken birth. Interesting, it is said in Bhavishya Malika that up in the skies there will appear a mark, okay, and this is the mark of Mata Chandraghanta, which happened. I'll tell you when it happened. I wrote it down, Navratri. On the 23rd of this Navratri month, March. 24th it happened. 24th, 3rd, 2023. When you saw the moon, a crescent moon, and you could see Venus right under the moon. And this is the mark of Mata Chandraghanta. And this indeed, I mean, Chandraghanta being an emanation of Adishakti. And that particular day of Navratri being the day of Mata Chandraghanta. Now, also another thing that he had mentioned in Bhavishya Malika is that after many, many years will the Hindus and the Muslims pray together. And it was so interesting to see that this time Navratri, which was Chaitra Navratri, and Ramadan fell in the same time. While we were celebrating Navratri, they were celebrating Ramadan. Now now what I'm about to say, I'm not trying to disrespect any religion, any community. This is purely an observation that I have made. So this is the way the Muslims, they depict the crescent moon and a dot on top, right? But this is what appeared in the skies on Ramadan. This is the moon they saw. So very interesting. And this particular thing is how we also do our tika when we do Devi Puja. So coming of this sign, this is a sign of Kalki Avatar. This is a sign of Kalki Avatar's birth. So some very, very interesting things also Achyutananda has said, like there were many warriors in Mahabharata. Of course, there was the set of immortals, Ashwathama. Ashwathama was the son of Dronacharya. And he had vowed to take revenge against the Vansh of Pandavas. And everybody in Bharatvarsha now is from the line of the Pandavas. So Ashwathama is definitely there in this new fight that Kalki will have to, initiate or defend. As Vishnu said, Yada yada yidharmasya glane bhavati bharata abhyuthyanama dharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya tadushkritam dharma sansthapanataya sambhavani yuge yuge. What does this mean? That means whenever there will be a dharma, this is Lord Vishnu's promise to us, that whenever there will be a dharma, Lord Vishnu will incarnate. And that seeing that the sign of Ma Chandraghanta was honestly like, I was astounded, because somebody who's a priestess of the Devi, we look for things like this. We look to see signs from the skies above. We look to connect with the goddess through symbols, through archetypes. And this coming of this sign was definitely very powerful, a harbinger of great change and the awakening of dharma. Okay, now this time, right, 10th of this month, and today is 9th, in a few hours I think it's going to be the 10th already. So we have right now very important time frame for politics. New political parties will be formed, and if you are one such person looking to launch yourself in the political arena, this is a great time. 10th of May. Why are you going on repeating this, honestly? Does it look like I'm talking about Lalita Devi right now? There are many videos on Lalita Devi. Be relevant to the discussion at hand. I mean, this is just plain like behavior, like behavioral, um, right? Okay, so very important for any and all forms of Tantra and Tantric practices. Why? Because Shakti energy has given us a sign, right? A sign that you can go and look at it. It's got a crescent moon, and it's got what Matangi has, what Ma Lalita wears also. It's beautiful how that happened. It was absolutely stupendous to see the goddess. For the skies are her forehead, right? So it's understandable that it would appear to give us a sign that this is the time to become interested in Sanatan Dharma. For what is Sanatan Dharma? Sanatan Dharma is eternal. Sanatan Dharma is endless. It existed way before our time, and it will continue existing after we are gone. So, and new people will take this on. For no country can lay claim to Sanatan Dharma. It originated in India from Indus Valley, but it is as old as time itself. So this is the time with the coming of the Kalki avatar and the awakening of Hindu mantras. You know, the devs and devatas and devis are jagrat right now. After Navratri, I feel they are so much more potent, devtas, because it's very difficult for devtas to come down in Kali Yuga and connect with us. But now it's possible. So mantra practice is so important right now to establish this and to understand the flow, the ebb and the flow of Sanatan Dharma. Sanatan Dharma has been practiced in Mexico. Sanatan Dharma has been practiced in Africa. Sanatan Dharma is can be seen with the Yazidis. Sanatan Dharma is eternal. And I'll tell you one thing, that as this era continues, more and more people will become interested in Sanatan Dharma and its eternal truth and its eternal bliss, and it's so idealistic, it's so romantic, it's so stupendously alive. It's not a dead letter religion. It's alive. It's a living, breathing system of knowledge. For if you touch, your whole body is electrified. So more and more people will show an interest towards Sanatan Dharma. People from Colombia, people from Mexico, people from America. Now with America, the next 3 years are excessively challenging. So already I see a lot of American kids are interested in this system. A lot of them are now looking at this ancient knowledge, understanding how so much of neo-paganism, the new wave, all of that, please, I'm not talking about governments or politics or anything like that. So please keep it down. As I said, that a lot of people are going to see the truth in Sanatan Dharma. They will understand the beauty, the intricacy, the poetic quality of Sanatan Dharma. It's artistry, it's soul artistry, and people will see that. People in Africa, people in Japan, people in other countries are going to see that more and more. And many people from Europe, from the US, of different nationalities, are going to want to be involved with Sanatan Dharma. This is also a sign of the future, right? Very, very important time for technology to connect to spirit, technology to foster some kind of connection with a higher self. And now again, that's another argument that, shall we avail technology to get to that level? Then I say, why not? We have created technology. So it's an extension of us. So if we keep segregating, if we keep excluding, some people tell me that, I have a really good time when I do ayahuasca, when I do, not ayahuasca, was it? Mushroom, sorry. When I do mushrooms, or when I do acid. And to me, I have, and to them, they have Kundalini moments with that. Now, if that is what they want to do, then that is what they want to do. I mean, who are we to police them, right? So if they can connect in that form, if somebody can connect with technology and go really deep within, then great, use it, right? Yeah, in a sense, yes. But whatever works for you, as long as you can connect to the silence within, without, right? Now, Mahabharat story, as I was telling you, that many yodhyas or warriors from the Mahabharata time have incarnated. And it is said that many warriors are going to take sides, and Hanuman, Ganeshji, and Ganesh Bhagwan, and Bhairav Bhagwan, any of them are going to come to support Kalki. When Kalki takes his stance, in fact, Achyutananda says that at a point, India will be invaded by China and 13 Arab nations. And at that point, we will see that many of our old warriors from the Mahabharata, they have already incarnated, and they are going to take up arms in support of Kalki. So, the Mahabharata story is very, very interesting, that all these Yodhyas, the Pandavas, Draupadi is here. For Kalki's best friend, Kalki's soulmate is Draupadi. Now, if you look at Mahabharata, you will see a very interesting thing there, that Draupadi had 5 husbands. But was she really ever happy with her 5 husbands? I mean, you're like, here I can't manage one, and she had 5. So, and she wasn't happy. Her soulmate was none other than Krishna, and she was Krishna. Krishna's soulmate is Draupadi. So even in Kalki's time, Kalki will not live without Draupadi. Draupadi has incarnated. For if Kalki incarnates, Draupadi will incarnate. Arjuna will incarnate. Bhim will incarnate. Ghatotkach will incarnate. And it is said that some of the Kauravas, right, some of them will incarnate in China. And this war between India and China will be settled. And even look at our Manas Sarovar. Our Manas Sarovar is occupied by China, right? And it is Shiva's dham. It is Shiva's dham. So there are many psychic things also about these places and psychic downloads that I'll make a separate video about. But according to Achyutananda, Russia will become Sanatani. And also I'll tell you, I was looking at Russia's chart. I have a feeling that there will be somebody important in Russian politics who is going to show their face. And it's not Putin, it's somebody new, but maybe not entirely new. Maybe people in Russia might know about this person, but on the world stage, this particular Russian politician is going to be very, very dynamic. It's going to bring forth new energy. It's going to identify with Sanatan Dharma, and it's very interesting. Russia's story into embracing Sanatan Dharma. It's going to be pretty interesting. Now, the thing is that Nepal is holding within it many, many secrets of Sanatan Dharma. Nepal is a Hindu country. Just some green tea. Okay, so Nepal is a Hindu country, and they will release secrets that they know about Kalki, that they know about this whole situation, and Nepal has a lot of secrets. So all of that is going to come out. Now with this Shadashtak Yoga, I see that fire, shooting, okay, terrorist attacks, okay, many people can die, and I see that there is going to be, and I'm not talking about Achyutananda now, and I'm talking about the astrology, that when I was looking at the astrology, I had a premonition that within this 10th to July, beginning July, there will be, or say 10th of June actually, let's cut it short, 10th to 10th, there will be a fire or a shooting or terrorist attack, and the direction of north will be involved. And I predict a few, like 100, 200 people will die in this horrible fire. We had a fire in Notre Dame in Paris, but I don't think people died in it. But here I see the possibility of the north direction being involved in this fire, and this will be a catastrophe that we as a global community will have to take responsibility for, and we have to aid, and we have to help, and we have to support one another at this time. So this is very important. Now China, right, with this situation that's happening, I see China is going to go through many problems. And I see sort of an internal revolt in China, okay, and terrorist attacks can happen on the navy, and this I would say can be between the Russia and the Ukraine thing that's happening. This war between Russia and Ukraine is gonna easily go on for 6 years, okay, and at the end of it, other countries may get involved, and a world war, or even The use of atomic or nuclear power can happen, but on a small scale. I don't see large scale destruction like that. Earthquakes are galore. Okay, earthquakes, definitely. Tsunamis and cyclones. Okay, and Mangal in Cancer. This is anyway, Cancer has to do with the stomach. So it creates disturbances also in the stomach of the earth. And Mars being a Pitta planet. And Shani in Kumbh. Lots of weather changes. Now, this also signifies to a lack of water. Lack of water or misutilization of water resources. And that's not good, believe me. Be very careful. Be very careful of the. I can't see any of you there. Are you guys there? I mean, I honestly can't see you guys there. Okay. Did anybody hear anything, or was I gone? Like, can someone please tell me? Did you hear what all I just said? Or was that all lost? Anybody there? Hello? Because we have a lot of ground to cover. Okay, I'm going to do the report anyway, even if you're not there. I'm hoping to hear from someone. Is somebody there? Okay. Can somebody message, please, if you're there? Hello? Okay. Shall I, do I have to start the live again? Can please somebody, is anybody there? Is anybody there at all? Hello? Oh my God. Hello, is anybody there, please? Can someone respond? Because the whole screen, like, I can't see anything anymore on my screen except just like, anybody there? Okay. Let's continue. I guess you're there and you just can't write us, or maybe the writing is not popping up for me. I don't know. That could be too. So now cyclones and the lack of water, right? So be very responsible with water. Very, very responsible with water. Okay, and the thing is that Notapa, okay, Notapa is happening. Notapa 2023 is 15 days when Surya is in Rohini Nakshatra, okay, in Taurus. And Notapa actually is 9 very important days, but 15 days are usually taken if you look at the calculations. And this is the time when Notapa happens, is sun's rays directly hit the earth, right, and giving us major life force or chi or ki. DNA activation, updates, downloads, and all that stuff, right? So 22nd May is when Surya enters Rohini. That's when Notapa starts. And 2nd of June it ends, which it makes it 12 days. It's supposed to be 15 days. And because it is ending in 12 days, it's going to be imbalanced, right? Very, very hot right now, very dry, arid. In fact, we will see record-breaking heat and humidity. Even rain will be erratic, okay? And we can even see loo or heat strokes, like, that warm loo that goes through like Delhi and other cities. Body will dry up severely during Notapa. 22nd May it starts. So keep drinking and please offer water to animals, offer water to plants and other people. And also don't forget to do Surya Arghya. Now, for people looking to manifest big time during Notapa, please do Gadpati Tarpan, okay, Mahagadpati Tarpan for these 9 days without fail in Brahma Muhurta. It'll bring you great benefits. And I teach a class of Tarpan where I teach you Tarpan. So I teach a class of Tarpan, so you can take that. Now, Shatasht is happening with Guru Chandal and Mangal, Ketu, and Shani, right? They are causing this V shape, which I told you about. Now, this V shape is very bad for relationships. So, at this time, we can see that relationships will suffer. Now, America. Okay, Americans, I definitely say that the next 3 years will be fraught with complications. So hold your horses, be safe. And Israel, there'll be a revolution. People will protest. Not a great time for France or England either. Saudi, very tough times. And again, as I was just mentioning, the interest in Sanatan Dharma, Saudi Arabia will become very interested in Sanatan Dharma. Okay, and Orissa weather changes, and I also see that. I also see that in India, the worst affected state will be Punjab and Rajasthan. Punjab and Rajasthan. Now, Guru Chandal Yoga brings about the idea of dharma versus adharma, niti versus aniti. So this is things we have to understand, and this will be internal as well. Now, Guru is going to need our love, our strength, and because of all these troubles, right? Opposing ideas, because Guru is Brihaspati and Chandal is Rahu, right? So opposing ideas, clash of the two giants, Rahu and Jupiter. And because they are clashing up in the heavens, we will clash on earth. People will clash with one another. A lot of scandals are being revealed at this time, and a lot of new scandals are being created. Now, countries that are in dubious partnerships will fall apart. Countries that were once friends can suddenly become enemies or distrustful of one another. Now, what I think is that India just lifted the restriction on COVID-19, but I have a bad feeling that COVID is going to come back, and a particular strain of COVID, which is some B791, that is going to be definitely coming back in 2024 and 2025. Okay, I see. I definitely do also see that there will be lockdowns again. Maybe not something as severe as 2020, but there will be. So just take all the precautions, sanitize, eat healthy, build your immunity, and do sadhana. There's literally nothing you can do more than that, literally. Now, planets also work towards spreading disease, and planets also work towards eradication of diseases. So it's a karmic flow, right? Something that like Bagalamukhi, she shows us the flow of time by turning things into opposites. So it's very powerful, the karmic flow. Now other viruses are going to come into the picture. So Shani in Satavisha is so amazing. Rahu's nakshatra again is all about healing. 100 healers, 100 ways to heal. So this is a good scene. Also Ashwini, don't forget Ashwini nakshatra is the Ashwini Kumars, the doctors of the gods. They know all about Jari Booty, Vanaspati, Ayurveda, surgery, all of that. The Ashwini Kumars. Jupiter in Ashwini and Aries is breathing a new life force into this world, into our, souls. So don't fear in anything. Fear, false evidence appearing real, is only going to, make you stray from your path. So fear nothing and believe in healing. Okay, it's very important. Believe that you will heal. Venus is moving into Gemini and Mars into Cancer. Two huge movements this month. And they've been conjunct for a while, and Grahan Yoga was being formed also. So, with this, we will see abrupt changes in the weather pattern. Like I told you, that Kedarnath pilgrimage was cancelled as Venus had moved into Gemini. Petrol, fuel related problems can happen. Nicha Bhang Mangal from 10th of May can bring in a lot of suffering, a lot of pain, a lot of, accidents, rape, torture, disturbance, mental disturbance, and also, causing mental diseases or exacerbating a particular mental condition that one might have. Also, murder, right? So these are some of the real low significations of Mangal. Now, the financial market with the Shatashtak Yoga is going to be absolutely whacked out. So don't give in to speculations. Don't give in to, temptation or greed or, things like that. Stay true to your journey. Stay, not stray. Stay true to your path, okay, and connect to your soul. Pranayam at this time is a must. Mantra is a must. Mudras, very, very important. Now, all I'll tell you is that there is going to be a very bad disease, and this is more from some psychic work that I was doing, just intuitive channeling. And there will be another very bad virus, and that virus will also be related to animals, just like swine flu, bird flu, mad cow disease, coronavirus. All of this, it's coming to us, it's karma playing out, because we are being really savage with the animals, we are being really cruel, we are being really selfish. So as we prepare for this, transition between the yugas, it's also very interesting speculation that what Achyutananda had said, that Kali Yuga will end and Satya Yuga will begin, and then 1,000 years of peace, prosperity, but many people will die. Many, most of the earth's population will be wiped out. So, I mean, just stay away from eating non-vegetarian food, stay away from alcohol, stay away from drugs of any kind, stay away from pharmaceuticals, stop dosing on, pharma. That medicine is absolutely bonkers. Stop going to bed with 2 lorazepams. Don't do that. I know a friend who needs lorazepam every night. So these kinds of habits are not good. It's not good. You've got to give it up. So why not do it now, and feel the energy that is coming through with all of this planetary shifts, the drishtis that I told you, the Guru Chandal Yoga, the Shatashtak Yoga, the Shapit Yoga, all of this. I mean, they have so much to teach us. Establish a spiritual regime, get creative, laugh, smile, get wet in the rain, do something you like, look pretty, tell the person you love that you love them. Life is too short. If you love someone and you want to tell them, tell them. What's the worst that can happen? That they'll reject you, but at least you opened your heart. So, having said that, I still can't see any of you there. Or I know if Kali was there, she would have left me a message. But I think I'm going to end it now because I still have a lot to discuss, honestly. But I mean, I'm not going to get too elaborate into it because I honestly don't know if this live is even recording, or maybe I'm just talking to myself. Um, that's going to be a bummer. But thank you so much for being a part of my journey as I pivot through the uncertainty of these times and grow and love and cry and learn and sing and dance and breathe and hug and love. Thank you for being a part of it all. See you soon and take care.